Ennis isn't just training for Xander Zayas. He's reshaping himself in real time, evolving into something sharper, something heavier, like a storm learning how to carry more weight without losing its speed.
What's up, man?
What's up?
What do you want to do today?
There go my man right there. What's up, buddy?
What's
going on?
What we doing today?
Like we doing with you. Shot about 3-4 rounds. Hit the bag and reflex bag. Speed bag, reflex bag.
Alright, so total 10 or 12.
Don't you still doing 4 minutes a round?
Yeah, you good.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Look who came out here. Tied on the McDonald's. Right with the CBG order. I tell you earlier. Gotta get the CBG order. 2 big chicken and cheese, add the next sauce, add cheese. We go medium fry. Right now I gotta go medium hot seat because I'm in camp. If I was outside of camp, I would go medium Sprite or Coke. That's the benefit of fighting for both of you both.
Not loud, not flashy, just sharp, controlled, almost surgical. Moving up to 154 isn't a gamble for him. It's more like an upgrade, more room to breathe, more room to hurt you. And with Boots Ennis right there, you already know this isn't some experimental phase. This is calculated damage in progress.
It's 5 in the morning. Man, it's not 5 in the morning. It's 10:14, man. 10:14 in the morning. Really like 1:14 back at home. About to get busy, about to get these miles in. A little lemon water to get right, you know what I'm saying? Gallon a day. Make the weight go away.
This isn't about who wants it more. It's about who understands it deeper. And Boots moves like a man who's already seen the answers before the test even starts. If Zayas brings fire, cool. But Ennis, he's bringing control, timing.
It's melody different. Who's special, man?
And that quiet confidence that doesn't explode, it dismantles.
But that's why I wanted to come on here. I went from everybody kind of like being on my back trying to hit on me. Now everybody on my side now. Like, that's why I don't even care about this activity and stuff. That's why I do what I do. I like and do what I do. I don't even worry about them. Everybody know all this. If you ain't popping, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't talking about you, for real. That's how I know I'm popping. That's how I know how to stay out. I'm the best in the world. They know it. But you gonna show them. You gonna shake them all up. Knock them one by one.
And you throw them two, he gonna throw one. If he throw one.
There's no hesitation in the way he moves.
You put that joint right there, it's gonna be there.
No wasted motion, just quiet certainty, wrapped in violence. Like every punch already knows where it's going before it leaves his hand.
Yeah, every time. He only gonna throw one. He ain't gonna throw them things that got nothing on it. That's how you do it. He like this. Right there again. Can't go, don't let him out. He can't go like that. So over there was counting with the left hook. Yeah. He can't go now. He gonna go here. Let that shit go. Right off, you gotta let something go.
They're studying Zayas like a problem to solve, not a threat to fear. And yeah, Zayas talking about ripping his heart out sounds intense until you remember who he's saying that to. Because Boots doesn't panic, he processes. And that's a dangerous type of fighter when the lights come on. Boots is over there moving like a man solving equations mid-fight, here comes Xander Zayas flipping the entire energy into something way more volatile. Because this isn't the same polished prospect anymore. This is a fighter who just went through change and decided to lean into it instead of hiding from it.
We're preparing for, probably his biggest fight to date. It's been a long journey, throughout the years. I've been training Xander since he's about 11 years old, 11 or 12. He's coming on 22, and it's, the journey's been long, but we're culminating now with what his dream was, and that was to become, a champion.
Losing a trainer could shake most guys, but Zayas, he's rebuilding in real time under Coach Tantino, sharpening the technical side while dialing up the mentality like he's trying to convince himself and the world at the same time that he belongs at this level. And I'm watching this rip his heart out talk and thinking, okay, that's not just promotion, that's pressure talking back. Because when you start invoking that kind of intensity, you're not just preparing to win, you're preparing to survive something brutal.
Good, Xander. Hi! Hip tall, hip tall. How you doing? Accelerate that elbow to the floor. Come on. Drive that elbow down. Big reach. Good lad. Pause at the top. Nice. 2 more. Come on. Good lad. Hold it now. Hold it. So as you can see, we've got a superset here, both primarily targeting backside of that shoulder girdle. So for someone like Xander, that just for training and his sport, he spent so much time in this kind of forward-leaning posture. Sometimes in the gym, it's not necessarily about developing his strengths, but ensuring that we maintain overall balance just for integrity of the joints and health long-term. So we've got a superset here, as you can see, isometric rows, phenomenal just for setting and restoring that position. Superset here with a rotational power press. Again, we still need him moving at speed in both directions. And these two exercises just complement each other perfectly for that.
Dale.
But here's where it gets interesting, because while he's adding layers technically, tightening up, thinking more, he's also choosing chaos mentally, almost like he's trying to meet Boots' control with pure will. That's a risky equation. Still, you can't ignore the work, the hunger, the refusal to be intimidated. Zayas isn't showing up to be dissected, he's showing up to disrupt, and sometimes in boxing, that alone makes things unpredictable.
And he gives 100% to whatever he does, whether it's in the ring, outside the ring, it doesn't really matter. I mean, as you can see today, he takes charge of certain things, and he took charge of the workout today. Which you don't get with many guys. They're always waiting to be told, and Xander's one to take that. He takes action without being told.
And just when Xander is over there trying to weaponize chaos and confidence like it's his only way through this storm, Roy Jones Jr. steps in and calmly flips the whole narrative back towards something way more uncomfortable: reality. Because Roy isn't dismissing Xander, not at all. He actually gives him that if anybody can, it's him, respect. But then immediately follows it with that subtle warning like, yeah, but you might be early to this party. And that's the part that sticks. Timing.
Roy, I gotta get you before you go, man, because a kid who trains all the time in Florida from your whereabouts, Xander Zayas, man. What do you think? You think he could beat Boots Ennis?
Well, if anybody can, beat him, but that's a hell of a task he's taking on at an early age, too, you know what I mean? So I would have liked to see him wait just a little bit longer, get a couple more fights in, but sometimes when the money calls, the fight has to happen. The money calls, the fight gotta happen, so it's what it is.
Because when Roy starts talking about Boots, he doesn't describe him like a regular fighter, he describes him like a problem that adjusts itself mid-fight. That's different. He literally says there's nothing to break down. And I'm sitting here like, that's one of the most disrespectful compliments you can give someone, because it means whatever you think you figured out, he already has an answer for it. Then Roy goes deeper, comparing Boots to guys like himself and even Crawford. Fighters who don't just fight one way, they switch, adapt, rewrite the script while you're still reading page 1.
Do you see that with Jaron, or that's not the case?
I don't see it with Jaron. I see Jaron as being a guy that's actually knows what he's doing and knows how to fight. Has talent too, but knows how to use his talent. Therefore, it's nothing to break down. And I think they'll find that out come this next fight.
Does he remind you of yourself at all?
A lot.
How so?
Well, he got so many things he can do. He know how to change things up on the spot. And you can be able to adapt and change up on the spot. That's what you don't find in most fighters nowadays.
And now suddenly Xander's "I'll bring pressure" approach starts sounding risky. because pressure only works if the target stays where you expect it to be. Boots doesn't. He changes the equation while you're solving it. But Roy doesn't completely shut the door either. He talks about repertoire, about growth, about layers, basically telling Xander, you better bring more than energy to this fight. Because against a guy like Ennis, effort alone gets you competitive, but intelligence keeps you alive. And that's where this whole matchup gets uncomfortable, because one guy is building himself into something dangerous, while the other already moves like something fully formed.
Like that he does wear shots sometimes, Jaron Ennis, maybe more than you did at times in your prime.
He does, but still, he's doing it. What he's doing off of his fundamental learning. It's not like he's just going off talent doing it. That's his fundamentals. Trust what I tell you.
He's got a great jab.
He's got a great everything because he's fundamentally sound.
In what fashion do you think he beats Zayas?
Well, it's going to be a tough fight because Zayas is a little tall, I think. And anytime you fight a guy tall like Zayas, he's going to be a problem. But I think if he just sticks to his game plan, he makes the necessary changes when it's time to make them, he'll be fine.
And just when Roy is painting Boots like this adaptable machine you can't really game plan for, Romero jumps in and somehow makes the whole situation feel even messier. Not technically, but politically, because now we're talking about timing, contracts, and doors opening that maybe weren't supposed to open this way. Raleigh's over here basically saying the fight with Boots wasn't even supposed to land on Xander like this, it just kind of happened. And I'm sitting here like that's the most dangerous way to end up in a fight with someone like Ennis, by accident. That's like showing up to spar and realizing midway it's a title fight. And then he throws in that comparison saying Xander is still young while Boots is seasoned. And yeah, that sounds obvious until you really think about what that means.
Boots, how do you see that fight going?
I mean, shoot, it's hard to really go against Boots because on that one was specifically Xander. You know, I feel Xander's still young. You know, Boots is a lot older and has a lot more experience.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, still, regardless, I mean, I don't know. Virgil has done fought everybody that he could get his hands on.
Yes.
And done stopped everyone he could get his hands on.
Do you think it'd have been a better fight if it would have been Virgil versus Boots instead of Xander?
I mean, I think that's a fight everyone wanted.
Yeah.
It's not just age, it's experience under pressure, adjustments in real time, knowing when things go wrong, how to fix it without panicking. That's where fights are won at this level. But then Raleigh flips it again, bringing Virgil into the mix, saying that was the fight people actually wanted. And now we've got this triangle where everyone's measuring each other without actually stepping in together. And I like that he ranks Virgil #1, because it just adds more chaos to the conversation. Like nobody agrees on anything except one thing. Boots is the problem nobody can ignore. And that's where Xander's situation gets real tricky, because he's not just fighting a guy, he's stepping into a narrative where people already think he's a step behind. And sometimes that's dangerous, but sometimes that's exactly what creates an upset.
A lot of people hold Virgil and Xander kind of like right there with one another, but I feel Virgil a little bit.
Virgil and Boots? Or?
No, Virgil and Xander, because you know how Virgil's been going at it with Xander verbally. Like they be dissing each other a lot, for sure.
I mean, there's no ifs, ands, questions about this or that. I mean, like that's a fight that everyone wanted.
Now, let me get your rankings on all three of them, because those three seem to be stuck in a triangle. Boots, Virgil, Xander. How would you rank them 1 through 3?
I say Virgil, #1.
Okay. #2?
Virgil over everybody.
Virgil.
And just when Raleigh's over there framing this fight like it fell into place through timing and opportunity, Greg Hackett walks in and turns it into something way more tactical. Like, nah, this ain't luck, this is layers colliding. Because Hackett gives Xander real credit, not that polite, good prospect talk, but actual respect. Pointing at that Abbas fight like, yeah, we saw something there. Grit, durability, the ability to bite down when things get uncomfortable. And I like that, because too many people act like you either dominate or you're exposed, when in reality, those messy fights. That's where fighters reveal what they actually are. But then Hackett pivots, and this is where it gets sharp. He basically says Boots isn't just better. He's cleaner, more accurate, more polished, and I'm sitting here thinking, that's the worst kind of matchup for someone still figuring things out. Because you can be tough, you can be confident, but if the other guy is just operating at a higher level of precision, every mistake starts costing you double.
You know what I mean? Xander's just a champion at 54. But Boots is, to me, better skilled, sharper, and I think he punched a little harder. You know what I mean? More accurate. But I think this is a big fight because Xander knows that he can't just be his regular self. He can't be his normal self. He got to be his super version of himself. You know what I'm saying? He has to tap into that. And I feel like Boots understand that too.
And Hackett's point about Boots needing a guy like Xander, that's interesting, because it flips the narrative. It's not just, can Xander survive Boots? It's Boots needs a real body at 154 to prove he belongs. And Xander happens to be that test with a belt attached. But don't miss what he said about levels within experience, because even when he tries to compare them, he walks it back like, nah, Boots has seen more, done more, adjusted more. That gap matters. Then he breaks down the fight itself, calls it a chess match early, and that's where I start leaning forward, because a slow start with Boots is dangerous. You give him time to read you, it's over before it looks over, and Hackett even hints at that second half shift where Xander might slow down like he did before. And if that happens against Ennis, that's not just fatigue, that's when Boots starts closing the show without rushing it. And I love that he doesn't go wild with predictions, just a calm 8-4, 9-3 type breakdown, like he's seen this movie before. Competitive until it's not.
Xander has options. He can box, fight inside. You know what I mean? He got options, so I think it's a better fight, style-wise. People gonna say I'm hating, people gonna say no, but that's fine. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? That's all. And it's only because I think Xander brings more to the table.
How does that fight look if we get it?
Great. Chess match early on.
And when you step back and really look at everything, all the voices, all the angles, all the noise, it all keeps circling back to one uncomfortable truth. This fight isn't just about skill, it's about timing colliding with evolution. Ennis looks like a finished product stepping into a bigger room, sharper, calmer, already operating like he's solved problems most fighters haven't even faced yet, while Xander Zayas feels like a fighter in the middle of becoming something dangerous, still adding layers, still testing himself, still proving he belongs at that level. And that's what makes this whole thing so tense, because one guy is bringing answers, the other is bringing questions that haven't been fully explored yet. You got precision versus pressure, experience versus hunger, control versus chaos. And somewhere in that mix is where the fight is really decided, not just physically, but mentally. Because if Boots gets to read, adjust, and settle in, it could turn into a breakdown in real time. But if Xander disrupts that rhythm early, forces discomfort, makes it messy, now we're in a completely different fight. That's why nobody fully agrees, and honestly, that's what makes it must watch.
He could make Boots kind of respect him in a way where he'll take his time. But we don't know if that's a good thing, because we saw Boots take his time with Villa and see how that happened. And then we seen him jump on a guy like Stanionis. We see what happened. So it's tough to say, but I just think Xander, I do respect Xander a whole lot. I like Xander, you know what I mean? And I'm one of the guys who said I watch Xander get better every fight. And if you don't think so, then go back early in his career and watch the fight.
Got better every fight.
I think he get better every fight. So with a Boots fight, I think he definitely got to bring everything to the table, and I think he will.
So now I'm throwing it to you. Who really takes it when it matters? Does Boots pick him apart like a masterclass? Or does Xander crash the whole system and flip the script? Drop your take in the comments, let's really talk about it. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.